One of the best sayings I've ever heard is don't confuse motion and progress. A rocking horse stays in motion, but doesn't make any progress.
Ooh, I
I
like
go,
that.
that's one of my favorite quotes. It's just like, that's what it is. Welcome to Sharpen the Spear podcast, where we help manufacturing executives command the front and win the floor. I'm Richard Walsh, creator of the Sharpened Impact methodology, and I spent decades helping leaders transform frontline teams, unlock hidden profit, and capture capacity they didn't even know they had. If you want to see where your leadership gaps are costing you and how to fix them, head over to grittolead.com and run the free Sharpened Impact Simulator today. Let's sharpen your edge and get started. And we are back on STS Sharpen the Spear podcast with another incredible guest. I've got Justin IT Walker with us. And Justin, no one knows Justin better than Justin. So give us that backstory, bring us up to speed so we can get into another great conversation.
Hell yeah, Richard. Thank you for having me today. So let's
Pleasure,
see. When
pleasure.
I was a young tadpole, no, I'm just kidding. We'll go back a little, not so far back. So let's see. I'll start with, I guess, my story that you know so far. I did well, let's see. Hold on. Should I start with my story? How far back do you want me to go?
You go back wherever you want. That's what we do here. It's all just we roll.
Okay.
Back to wherever you want. I don't care. We could start the day after you're born. Might be a little tedious, but where we could just
How
hit the
much time you have
highlights.
then, buddy?
I've got time. I've got time.
Well, let's see. I grew up in California. I was raised in the punk and skinhead scene. There's all this fun, oi, rude boy music, this angry, violent young kid. And going through that life, I came to a point where I had a realization that I don't need to be here anymore with all the violence and the anger. And from all that, it got me into drugs and alcohol and drinking. And that took a large portion of my life for a very long time. And then until I finally got to the point where I realized I needed to stop drinking, stop partying. But before I could do that, when I was trying that, I actually overdosed back in 2023. And that was a very huge turning point in my life. So it really helped me understand that my purpose on this planet was not over, and I needed to die to live and be reborn like a phoenix. I'm using that example. I love phoenixes. And so here I am being able to help people find their purpose, find their passions, be self leaders of their own domains, and get them out of the matrix and create something powerful and worth living for themselves and their family. You
Oh,
know?
that's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, Justin, it takes almost probably all the time. It takes really going through some major struggles and difficulties to be able and overcoming them, right? Getting to the other side or be working at to really help people in a truly beneficial way. I mean, there's people who are, and I'm not throwing, well, I'm kind of throwing some people under the bus, but there's people out there like being a life coach, and I'm like, well, tell me about your life, and it's been like nothing. It's been nothing. It's been nothing but gravy the whole time, and they're out helping people. Like, I'm like, well, I'm not quite getting that, and who's going to actually fix your life? I don't, it's a challenge. I know it's just a title, but really, we've all been through. Most of us have been through some real struggle, especially in the entrepreneurial world. I know I lost everything in 08, 09. I went from up to the very bottom, lost everything, had to start over and all that stuff. So, and lots of other trials in between there. So I'm always encouraged by people who've had those struggles, especially when you wrap in the addiction issues, okay,
Yes.
drugs, alcohol, that kind of stuff. I'm blessed not to have struggled with that. I,
Woo.
I got plenty other issues. Okay. So I'm good. I didn't need those also.
No
Okay. I
one
got
needs those.
right. But they're super common, right? It's not like a random, it's way more people than you think, right?
It
Who's
is.
things and they do hold us back, don't they?
Yeah, and I was just on a podcast with another girl, and we are talking about usually the people who've gone through things, they experience things almost like an existential crisis way. they are the ones that are most set in position to help not only themselves but other people overcome those. They know what it feels like, they know what it's like to be there, but they've also risen up from the ashes to help others find their purpose and remove them from that kind of activity anymore.
Yeah,
So,
I think that's a, and I'm not going to say it's 100% true all the time, but
no,
when someone's training you, but when someone's training, they're teaching you, they're helping you in some aspect. If they don't have any legit experience in that, I don't mean they read something in a book and now they're sharing a book teaching you how to overcome an addiction. It's hard to have trust. It's hard to have like belief this could really happen. Someone really did it. You need that testimony, right? You need someone who's actually gone through it and done it, and now they're helping others, which is another unique thing that a lot of people will get through that, but they'll never reach back and help the next person
yeah,
because it
that's
can
what
be
being human is, helping people.
right. But let me ask you this then, just on that, because
Uh,
I just thought of this, Justin. I'm like, is it, do you think a lot of people or some people don't do that? They don't help the next person because they're afraid of being pulled back into the world of addiction?
I think it's a little bit of both. Because they people don't understand or they don't quite understand or get the idea that when you help other people, it helps you heal, it helps build you up as a person as well. It takes you to that next level. Because we're put on this earth to help other people, be kind, be patient, just help other human beings. So I feel like they're kind of missing that step there. I had that mindset first, where I was like, oh, I won't be pulled back into this. But I
Right.
realized I could be pulled back into it, but I didn't have the right mindset the next level up so that I could go back and do that and help people like I can now. And I won't be pulled back into it.
Yeah.
But the strength that comes with it.
Yeah. Cause I really think I mean, it'd be hard, right? I mean, I,
It
and I,
can.
and I help people who are struggling in their business and they do things like that. That's great. Okay. It's different than dealing with addictions. Okay. So, and I'm just making the comparison because I'm a business
Yeah.
coach. I build business, do all this stuff, but it's not, and inside business, there's addictions. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Because people, I mean,
Oh yes.
I had a roofing company for a number of years. Wow. You talk about some substance abuse in that industry. Okay. I mean, most construction, I mean, there's substance abuse everywhere. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like, but some it's a little more predominant.
I've seen
Um,
that. Alcohol
and
here,
it's,
alcohol there.
yeah. And it's hard to watch,
Is
you know?
it?
Yeah. It's hard to watch and you can't, it's like, you're just, you're just kind of helpless. Yeah. You got guys up on a roof working, and here they,
That's
and the
dangerous.
seriously, yeah, it's the fourth most dangerous job in the country. Okay. And I got guys up there who are, dealing with addictions or, they're not dealing with them, I should say.
So
They're
lost
just,
them.
they're
Lost.
working in them, so
Yeah.
it's a unique thing. And when I had the construction business, it was so prevalent. I'm talking from owners down to workers. The owners were not exempt from this at all. Matter of fact, it seemed to be a little group, a lot of times, like they're hiring the same kind of people, how we tend to do that in business.
They're
They want to hire
attracted.
people like us. So yeah, it was pretty interesting what I was seeing out there.
I love how you say that because we are attracted to the type of people that we come from that place we haven't quite healed ourselves. We're attracted to those same kind of people. But as we grow and learn and heal, and that's why I kind of practice on with my podcast and stuff as well, is helping people understand personal and business go together. You have to work on yourself, examine yourself, heal yourself so you can show up in that business and grow that business and show up in your family at the same time. You can have everything, but you have to work on it and it takes time. You have to find your self-worth within that as well.
Yeah, very true. And it's that, I'll call it the balanced approach. And I don't mean 50-50. I just mean
Uh,
balanced. Okay, there's a difference. A lot of
yeah,
people
there's a
don't
huge
get
difference.
it's not equal portions of everything. That doesn't work. That's unrealistic,
Yes.
or undoable. Okay, so but it is hard to have that intentional action every day that you're like you're. And I'll tell you what I've done too is I've become managed by my calendar. And I mean that by a good thing, okay? Because like there's I can do this here and I can plan for this and I can plan for that. The problem, Justin, I see a lot, and I did this for decades, was doing, just doing whatever needed to be done. I do the next thing, next thing you need something, I'll go help you over here. I'll help that person. I do all this stuff.
Same.
I'm just doing. So like I'm busy, but incredibly unproductive.
There's a difference
Okay.
between being busy and productive. A
That's
lot
right.
of people don't understand those differences.
That's right.
Oh, you're busy over there? Oh, Justin, you're busy. I'm like, no, I'm productive. I'm building. I'm creating. I'm
Yeah.
master.
One of the best sayings I ever heard is don't confuse motion and progress. A rocking horse stays in motion, but doesn't make any progress.
Ooh, I
I
like
go,
that.
that's one of my favorite quotes. It's just like that's what it is. Busy is the motion.
You're a
Okay.
moving
It's the
brick.
rocking horse. Busy is the
Like,
rocking horse. Yeah. But you're not going, and sometimes you look at the calendar, like it's September. Now it's October. Like a day is a week is a month. That's how fast things go. And you go, what have I done?
so many people are there. Like, what am I doing with my life?
Well, you know what? You know what is the worst reminder? When your phone pops up and gives you some memory from like a year ago, and you
Oh my
go,
God, I hate those.
that's been a year. I've done nothing. Okay. I look like I've accomplished nothing.
You gotta turn
Oh,
those off, man. Those are
yeah.
distractions.
It's just, and then I randomly see them. I'm always looking like, what a year? What have I done? I mean, I've done things, but like those are great reminders to do a quick like check. Like, well, okay, where are we at? Am I tracking what I'm doing?
Mm-hmm.
Is my business needle actually moving, or am I going to conferences thinking I'm doing things, coming back and implementing nothing?
You know,
Okay,
I've
but
been stuck there for a while too. I feel that.
right? I read a really great book. I even wrote a great book, another one. Okay, but what am I doing with it? Oh, I'm doing a lot with mine. But people will read a book and it's phenomenal. Oh man, so much good stuff in there. And what? It's a really good book. Are you doing any of it? Okay, like
That's
no.
a hard
Oh, okay.
concept.
Then not only you not doing anything with it, you burned up how many hours reading the book, then put it back on the shelf. It's now useless knowledge. It's in the useless knowledge category, as far as I'm concerned, because you haven't applied anything.
People do that with podcasts and books all the time. They watch. I was there. You watch so many, you read so many. You're like, oh, I've learned so much. That's good. You've learned, but what have you done with it? I'm like, oh, what do you mean? And I didn't understand that for a while. I didn't get it. I'm like, what do you mean? But I learned it. I understand it. Well, if you understand it, you can apply and implement. Huh? And it was a really hard concept to learn.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I look at it like so. I'm like, okay, so I shouldn't read because I'm not going to implement. So
No, no,
like,
no, no,
no,
no,
no,
no.
no, no. What I'm saying is like, you get to the point like, well, okay, if I don't learn anything, I can't be accused of not implementing it. Perfect. I got a solution. I'll do nothing. I'm just going to sit over here. Okay. So I can't be accused
Woo!
of not doing anything. So, it's funny, but like some people, that's how they operate. They're
Oh
not
yeah.
making the forward strides, right? They're not putting effort into kind of get somewhere. Okay. It matters. Like on my desk, I have a best-selling book I wrote 6 years ago, came out with another one just in the last few weeks. Sharpen the spear. I've got that. And I'm looking at it going, well, it's about time.
Time to
Like,
write.
I mean, I've been doing things, I've been coaching, I've been doing all this stuff. But I'm like, you took 6 years to write a second book. I got friends who have like 7 books in the same time, So I'm like, I'm just a slacker. No, I'm doing other stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'm being a little facetious, but I just mean like, dude, like, so I decided, Justin, that's the first book in the series. I'm turning it
Ooh.
into a series now because I need a new level of commitment because, I was kind of dragging my feet. So, you know, so that's the thing, right? We got to do things. You got to put challenges in front of yourself, right? You do that with the people you work with. Like you really set those time stamped goals, deadlines, things like that. What does that look like in your
Yeah,
world?
so like I do cybersecurity. So what I do with we're a strategic business partner, and we really help people not just transform their business or their technology, but we help them build a roadmap to being better human beings, communicating better. Because those are very big business hurdles that a lot of businesses don't get over. They understand communication in their company, they understand how to use or when to use email and call somebody. So we can really help them understand those things from a micro to help them with the macros. So we're not just doing technology, we're helping building them as a human being throughout their business so they can do things better and faster eventually.
Yeah, I think that's an important aspect. And I'll tell you, I don't care what the business is,
Hmm.
from plumbing to IT. Okay. Communication is a problem
Yes.
at
Oh,
every level in every business. And I don't know what it is. I have my own ideas of what causes these things, but let's just leave it. Let's just say it's everyone kind of is horrible at communicating. Even
yes.
people
Yeah.
with especially people with a communications degree.
What?
I'm
No
just
way.
I'm just saying. I've
I
noticed
don't
like
believe you.
it's like there's people with an MBA and they don't know anything about business. I'm confused. I'm very confused, but they got it. So good for them. They went through the process. But
I knew
really,
someone that had an MBA in chocolate, okay? I
well,
kid you
okay, well,
not. This is a
okay,
real thing.
wow,
So,
like
just saying.
dark chocolate, or
I don't know, maybe like brown chocolate. I'm not sure what kind of
okay.
chocolate. Doesn't matter what.
I need a Belgian. I need a Bavarian or a Belgian dark chocolate, 92% cacao or something. I don't know, whatever it is, but
Thing is, this
it's
does not translate into you can do life skills, your
right,
degree, you know?
right, right. Yeah, and yeah, let's talk about that a little bit because I think it's we touched on it a little earlier. It's hands-on experience. Okay, it's the doing of the thing that matters. Okay, I'm not against reading. I'm not against education. I'm not learning about something, but if there isn't practical application, as we've already mentioned, like you're only learning decades ago. Oh, I hate saying decades ago, but it's been a long time. In my landscape, my water feature business, Taliesin West is the Frank Lloyd Wright School of Architecture. Okay, so they got one in Wisconsin, they got one out in Arizona. I'm out in Arizona, and I go there, and amazing place, right? Built in the '50s and stuff. I'm like, oh, their landscape's kind of it needs some real like beautiful hand pruning. It needs to kind of be brought back up to life. So I asked them, "You want me to do that for you? Like, I'll just do it. I won't charge you. I'll just volunteer." They said, "Oh, that'd be great." So I come in a hand prune. I'm doing all this really cool stuff, right? So what do you think that got me? Hey, you want to train our students?
Ooh.
I'd like to train your sure bring them so they come out work with me every once a week, twice a week, because that school is all hands on. You learn architecture, but you got to lay brick, mix concrete. You got to build. You have to understand the workings of the things you're designing, and I love that philosophy. That was Frank Lloyd Wright's philosophy. So I'm out there pruning and doing this stuff, and all of a sudden I'm training these guys, and now all of a sudden I know like world class architects and I'm going to these black tie dinners or having there stuff. I'm like, well, this was, you know, and I kind of like you think that's going to work. And I was pretty young at the time, with my business, and I was like, I like this. Now I'm in this different circle because I brought a set of pruners and started working on the property. So I just want to encourage people like sometimes you got to go give. You give and you do stuff, and then just beautiful things happen. And that's happened a number of times for me. But just getting around those people that can then help elevate you, in
Yeah.
all kinds of different ways. It's a great approach.
I see that in my industry a lot. There are a lot of people that they learn stuff and they're very book smart and they do all these things, but they can't translate that to human knowing and human doing very well, you know?
Yeah, and it's so interesting because there's still a place for them. And I don't want this to sound wrong. Okay, when you talk about like coders, IT, I mean, there's a wall. You can't see the wall, but there's a wall. It's an
Hmm.
invisible wall, but you can't come past the wall. They don't want to come to the other side of the wall. They're a very siloed community. And
Yeah.
I had a client once we were working trying to combine the business, call it the C-suite, with the IT. Like we need the business team communicate, need to work together, and it's
Yes.
very
I always say
difficult.
that.
They got to understand the business aspect as well as the coding, because they're in their world, we're in our world, and they have to cross over in order to communicate properly, understand deadlines, understand what it takes to code, right? What these guys are actually dealing with, which I'm in the midst of, as you know. And
Yeah.
I've got all new respect for coders. Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of them only learn one thing, but they don't realize. It's like example. I knew some coders that don't know anything about networking or how to build a computer, but they're coding stuff on networking and for computers. So I'm
Right.
like, okay, hold on a minute. This doesn't make sense. How do you do it for something you don't know anything about? It's that
Yeah.
same thing. It's strange. Still, it's strange.
Well, it's like, well, I'll use this example. I get in my car and I turn the key and it starts and I drive home. I don't work on my car, but I know if I turn the key, it's going to fire up. I'm going to go home. So,
If it
well,
doesn't,
I'm a driver, not a mechanic. Okay, I'm a driver. I drive the vehicle. I don't work on it by choice. I've tried to work on it. It's very undesirable work.
I
Okay.
used to work on Volkswagens. I used to be a mechanic. I
Yeah. Well,
understand.
that's a double torture working on a Volkswagen. Okay. It's just,
I learned the
but
hard way how to rebuild an engine.
that's right.
Okay.
And I've done it. Don't get me wrong. I've done it. I've done a lot of mechanical stuff. I'm like, if I had to choose, I would never choose that.
Just pay for someone else to do it. It's
It's
easy.
just, yeah, it's the best money
Ego,
spent. It's the
buddy.
best money spent because I'm throwing things and cursing and doing things. It's the only
But
thing
what
that
you
people's
just
bad
said
language
right
is.
there, it actually transfers over to business because like a lot of CEOs and people in like C-suites, if there's something you don't know or understand, you don't, that's okay. You don't have to know it. You find someone who can do it and you pay them to do it, not waste your time and effort on it. You know? I mean, forget that.
Yeah, it's once you get into that realm, and I get it, there's times when we've all had to do it ourselves.
Hmm.
We can't pay someone. We don't have anything to pay them with, unless they want some chickens. I got some chickens. I'll pay them with some chickens. Okay, but like there's times you just gonna have to work and power through and get it. But the mindset should be, and this is a great business takeaway for anyone, or even if they're in a leadership position, is the delegation. Okay, it's always automate, delegate, eliminate.
Reach it.
Automate what you can, delegate pretty much everything else, and then eliminate things you actually don't need. And I always tell people, redundancies, cost overrun, stuff like that, eliminate that, but you also got to eliminate yourself from the business. You
That
got to
is,
eliminate from this hands-on, day-to-day, all that kind of stuff. Because the majority of people out there, Justin,
they're
who do
self-employed.
what you're doing, all the extra stuff you're doing, they're way better than you.
That is
So
true.
let them be awesome for you. That's
So
what I want.
it took me a while to learn and understand that. I'm like, no, I have to know all of this. I have to do it myself. If I don't do it, it doesn't get done. This is my business. I have to do it. It's like, I'm like, no. If I want, there's a difference between having a business and being self-employed. Most
Yes.
people are self-employed. They're
Right.
miserable. Their family lives are miserable. Everything's just miserable. They don't know why. They don't know how to get out over into having a business.
That's right. That's right. When you look at that aspect, you start to understand, well, what do I actually want to accomplish? And like I said, if all I want is like a working knowledge of these things. So very high level, that's what that means. That's code for like, yeah, I get it. Okay. And that's all
I'm
I
not
want to
doing
know.
it.
I don't want to know anymore. I don't want to be able to be sucked in. Right. I don't need to know that. I don't want to do that. It's like I train people boxing, right? So I'll train them boxing. I was a real good boxer and I'm training these people boxing. And there's many days I want to get in there and throw down.
Like
Okay.
you.
But I'm like older now and I'm not going to get in there with people who are 40 years younger than I am. Okay. I still will crush them. I keep my skills up. That's all I'm saying. And maybe I could, but I'll probably get killed myself. Okay. And it's just, but what I'm saying is like, I don't need to. I can train them, show them how I did with my son, train
You
them how to
have the
box.
wisdom now, not
Yeah. So we, it's a transfer, right? So it's a transfer, but we definitely want to empower our team. Always
yeah,
want to give them the skills, give them what they need to succeed. That's what we need to do. Like, how do they win every day? Like, that's what we
yeah,
need to have them do. And the struggle, Justin, you've seen this, I'm sure, is we can't let go of, I'll call them the tools. Okay. Now there's literals, there's hammers and saws. And if you're building stuff, you literally want to go do the hands on work. But in any business, there's hands on work. It's doing the payables. It's doing receivables. It's doing the sales. Things like that. Like you shouldn't be doing them. You may be really good at it, but it's a limiting factor for your business and for
So
your own self. Because if you're wrapped up in those, you don't have the bandwidth to go work on yourself,
that is so true.
right?
Yeah.
We talk, you do martial arts, I'm a martial arts guy, right? I have black belts and boxing and all
Yeah.
this stuff, but I still train. I still have the margin in my life to get those shots in, right? I still go work out 5 days a week, 6 days a week. I love it because
Yes.
it's important to me and it matters and you got to do it. But if I'm doing every single thing in my business, that margin often gets kicked to the curb. That's one of those first things people give up, isn't it? They
The
give up the
thing,
fitness, they give up the fitness, they give up that. Then
you know, the
next,
things they love to do.
that's right. The vacations are out, date nights out, with the spouse,
They're doing it wrong.
yeah, it's just, it's,
Ah.
it's just, but no, they're sacrificing. They're sacrificing. That's what we tell ourselves, So I'm like, it's no,
Yeah,
you're
the
not sacrificing.
relationship, the job,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
kid.
yeah.
Yeah,
You're
bro,
gonna
you're
sac
sacrificing all
you're
right.
gonna sacrifice yourself into absolute loneliness. That's
Right
what
back into addiction.
yeah, right, or that, right.
Ooh.
Yeah, to ease the loneliness, So
Yeah.
it's it's just I like the topic here, Justin, because I think sometimes we just gotta throw this stuff kind of on the wall.
Yes.
Sticks and
No,
just we're hitting we're firing a lot of shots, we're a little shotgunny, but that's okay. Right.
yes.
Because sometimes people are going to resonate with different things. And I like the approach that like this is how complex it really can be.
It is very complex, but it's simple, but it takes work.
There's a key, right? It's just like the book. You can read it, but what are you going to do with it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what are you doing with what you read? Hmm, that's hard.
100%.
You
And
know,
like,
so here's a question. So you were talking about, you know, you're helping the guy or you're training them or they read the book and you're talking about implementing. And I have who was it? It was a young guy at the gym, friend of mine, and it's young guy and he's all keyed up. He goes, man, he's a motivational speaker, man. He can do this, The kid's maybe 19 years old. I don't know, So I go, yeah. I said, you're a motivational speaker, and I'm not saying he's on stages, but he's got this
you're
thing that
speaking
he's
about.
so here's my question. Okay. So I go, oh, well, let me ask you one question. Can you motivate the unmotivated? And
Ooh.
he looked at me and goes, of course. I go, yeah, you're wrong. You're not a motivational
But
speaker.
motivation doesn't exist.
You
It's
can't.
never reliable. It's unreliable.
Yeah, I'm like, if they're not motivated, you're not going to motivate them. You might get them to move.
Woo, yeah.
Yeah, they might do that, but tomorrow, dead, dead inside. Okay. Go to a motivational speakers conference and meet all the people in the room. They're all keyed up. They're all motivated already. Okay. They came to get more motivation. I tell this about people about health and nutrition. If
Mm-hmm.
I've got the most incredible health drink that gives you more energy and gives you protein and this and just totally balances your body, it's amazing. And you'll stay lean the whole time. Now, let me ask you, it's just a guy who's 400 pounds. He's a 400-pound land tuna. Okay. Walking around, barely get out of his car and everything else. Should I be just hounding him to drink this? Take the dude,
Oh,
you'll drop the weight, you'll lose this, you have more energy. It'll be amazing. Is he my ideal customer?
I'm gonna say no.
That's a good answer. It was half a question. You have asked me, but you're right. You know who wants more energy and wants to be more fit or be fit? It's people who
People
are
are already
already
fit.
they're already fit and have more energy because they know what it is and they want more of it.
Well, it's a different mindset. You have to approach that guy from a different way and do things slowly over time.
But he has to want it. It's not now
That's
if he
true.
comes to me and wants help, yeah, there's a process. And
Yes.
it's not
That's
drop 105 pounds in 4 months. Okay. That's not the process. That's
no.
failure. Okay. Because it's going to be a 500-pound land tuna a year later. Okay.
Yeah.
Because of that way. So I'm just saying, like, we got to understand the nature of people when we're working with them. Like, again, if they're unmotivated, can't say I call it above my pay grade. My job, I'm not here to get you to finally be motivated. I'm like, you're not. You're just not. You're not doing it. I
Motivation is a myth. It doesn't
right.
exist. and it's
Yeah.
a part of the matrix.
Yeah.
It's just there to make you feel comfortable that like, oh, I'm doing something, I'm feeling it, and it fades away into the darkness, the oblivion.
It's the rocking horse.
Yes, the
It's
rocking.
the rocking horse, man. Is and it's and I just I always I and I'm 100% not beating up on motivational people
It helps you in
because
the
they're
morning for me when I want to go to the
well,
gym. I'm like, yeah,
but what I mean though is no, they're helping motivated people.
yeah, motivate people exactly.
That they so they're a good thing. We all need coaches, right? And if it's to get us more cranked up, and we want to be more cranked up, get me a cranked up guy.
We
Okay.
gotta get to motivation first. You gotta build the habit to get
Yeah,
there.
exactly. You know, and that comes down to habits,
Yeah,
right? Habits is a big part of motivation that I think people underestimate.
habits, discipline, then motivation.
Rituals. I think it was Jim Rohn who said we are defined by our rituals. So what you do every day, that morning thing, how you get it starting right with how you get out of bed. Are you a snooze alarm guy or girl? I'm not. I never have been in my life, and this is never in my life have I ever hit a snooze alarm.
You know, I
Not once,
noticed the
not ever.
difference when I decided to not hit snooze and just when the alarm goes off, you get right up. That sets the tone for the rest of your day. If you
Yeah,
sit there and you hit snooze, the whole day is on snooze.
yeah.
Everything you do is just like, oh, well, should I, could I? 'Cause-
I'm I'm not afraid to say it. Snooze alarms are for losers.
oh, snoozers, losers. Oh, okay.
Losers. Straight up losers. Okay. The alarm goes off. It goes off for a reason. It doesn't go off so you can get 10 more minutes of the worst sleep of your entire day.
So
Okay.
true.
It goes off so you jump up, you swing the feet over, you get them on the ground, and you're going. Okay.
I'm running.
The next time you see the alarm clock is when you lay down and go to bed. Okay. And say, see you in 7 hours. That's what I say. I don't
Right.
use an alarm. I get up at 4 a.m. every day. I don't need an alarm. I can wake up. My body's just set for doing
I
that.
wake up before mine now.
Right.
I
And
have
that
it
see,
just
you're on
in
your
case.
way. And that's and
Just in,
that's and that's also when you know you're truly rested.
yeah,
So it's just little indicators, but your rituals, these morning routines that you do are really, really important.
they are.
You talk to people about what they do if they're honest with you, it tells you a whole lot. You get to know who you're dealing with.
It
What do you
really
do the
does.
first 3 hours of the day, first 4 hours of the day? I can tell you in excruciating detail, which I won't, but I could.
Tell me
Okay.
everything,
Yeah,
Richard. No.
everything. I mean everything. But to me, that is the best part of my day because first I'm not distracted.
It sets the tone.
Yeah, no one up in my house at 4 a.m. Now 5, they're getting up and going to work. There's people going to work. My kids going to work at 5 o'clock, and that's great. I love it. But I'm already up. I'm still up before them. I'm on my second cup of coffee, mushroom coffee. I'm drinking that, and they're like, I'm like, good morning, have a great day. You know,
What's
then
wrong
I'm
with
off to the
that?
gym. They're leaving. They're leaving at 5:30. So am I. But I'm going to the gym. And I'm going to go get my workout in and come back, make my food, get everything dialed in, out the
I think
door.
we have similar schedules here.
Yeah.
Power
Well,
4 a.m., yoga, gym. Like, what the heck?
yeah.
Mud water.
Well,
Yeah.
because it works. That's why
Yeah.
it works. And now everyone's got their thing, right? Everyone's got their schedule. They do different things. I'm not saying, thus saith the Lord. Do
You
it
will
my
wake
way.
up at 4 a.m. and like
Right.
it. That is
Right.
fine.
There's people who just their brains work at night. My wife's like that. She's very much a night person and stuff. So I don't wake her up at 4 a.m. You're not
I
doing that
tell
unless
people
unless you
if you
want to
can't,
die.
if you're not a 4 a.m. person, don't wake up at 4 a.m. then. But
That's
find
right.
what kind of person you are and find why you're doing it and figure that out for yourself.
And remember this too. There's been a ton of sleep studies, and true rest. The only way to get true rest is not by sleeping in. It's only by going to bed earlier.
Oh, good.
And people
I've
don't
noticed
know
that.
that, but the studies have proven, I mean, endless, like it's only by going to bed earlier, not sleeping in later. And if you've done, like you said, if you notice how your body feels, if you're in
Yeah.
tune, you're like, man, I got like 9 hours, but
If I
I
get
don't
more
feel
than
rested.
7,
Yeah,
I feel like crap.
I'm
It
with
ruins
you.
my whole day.
7 is my number. I used to do 4. I was
Yeah,
a
same
4 hour
here.
guy.
Now
That
that
was then a trainer of mine in my gym. He was one of my trainers, and another Marine. He goes, just Richard, why don't you try 7?
What do
And
you
I'm like,
mean?
okay, I'm coachable. I'll try 7. That was like 10 years ago.
So how's that been
7 years
working out?
ago. It's 7 hours every night, baby. And it's like I wake up like I am on fire, and then again, sometimes you gotta listen, but
And
you
check
really gotta
this
listen to your
out.
body. Yeah.
For me, I also found magnesium is my
Oh,
best.
everybody's
My
low on
God.
magnesium. Yeah. Everyone's low on
Without
magnesium.
like, if I take that at night, I sleep a lot better and I wake up more clean.
Hmm. Yep.
And
Yep.
it's crazy. Like, who would have thought?
I had a chiropractor in 91 maybe, and he was big on the magnesium. He goes, look, everyone's deficient. You get going on magnesium. And, you get these guys. I was really blessed to work with some really high level guys. And those are things, the nutritional aspect. That's when I first started really getting into nutritional stuff. Because when I was boxing and everything, I'm like, all I knew was like eat chicken and rice. That's fit.
I
Okay.
feel that so hard.
And I'm like, man, if I only knew what I know now back then, and I didn't, no one knew, people didn't know. You
Right?
just, that's what you do, to eat chicken and rice. And, wow, that was, whew.
Game
But
changer.
yeah, so it's just, as we go through business and we're older, yeah, we still maybe compete in athletic events or whatever the case, but like the mental fitness aspect, okay, that is derived from rest and nutrition.
It's
Okay.
so powerful.
I get moving the body. Like I consider that a given. We're going to do some form of workout. I don't care what it is. If you're running, walking, climbing mountains, boxing like me, hitting battle ropes, I don't care what you do.
Really?
Okay. But like the nutrition and the rest, of course, hydration is part of the nutrition.
Dude,
And,
rest changed my whole entire life, man. Started getting more rest. Everything changed. Where I
yeah,
showed up, it's
yeah.
crazy.
What was that like for you? Because I know what it did for me, but for you,
Yeah.
when you went from a shortened sleep cycle, whatever that might 4 or 5, whatever it was, to like that 7 hour, that finding that sweet spot consistently, what did you see, Justin?
So it was hell and a lot of trial and error and trying to figure things out. But I was getting like 6 hours, 5.5. And when I started slowly noticing that I tossed and turned less, I snored less, and I snored less because my sleep apnea went down because I was eating better, because I was getting better rest. Because you don't get better rest, I was craving sugary, carby foods. So a lot of that changed. And it just made me have less brain fog. I can concentrate longer, focus better. But I was going to sleep earlier too. And that really, it was just changed everything because the fitness and the sleeping helped me to show up as a better human being.
Yeah.
It was amazing, that little change. And I had to play with the magnesium for a while and figure out the dose because if you have too much, you have kind of like lower back pain. That was happening to
Mm,
me. So I
mm.
had to get lower and then that went away.
Yeah, that's so. Here's the takeaway. I think really is rest is undervalued.
It is.
Everyone thinks they're pushing harder. It's the hustle and grind culture and all that stuff. It's like, no, rest is, that's when things rebuild. There's cell regeneration. So much goes on. Like for women, I tell them, listen, your adrenal glands recharge between about 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. And they only recharge while you're sleeping. So if
And a
you're
lot of women
up,
don't sleep that long either.
yeah, they're not in bed. They're going to bed at midnight or 1 o'clock or doing whatever. They're not resting, or they're highly caffeinated, which most people are these days.
Mm-hmm.
A trip to Starbucks or whatever. And they got that. And for women, that drains their adrenals. We have testosterone. We can replace that, in our adrenal, but they can't. Right. So now they double down. It's lack of rest, no adrenal recharge, dumping caffeine loads in them, starting in the morning, have another one at 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, after they're 4 in the morning, and then they're another one, and they're just on this perpetual cycle
Gotta
of,
crash sometime.
yeah. And it's just, and here's the thing, a lot of people will power through because the human body is amazing
Yeah.
and it can endure. I mean, and I know from experience with people, I haven't done myself, but we talk about drug addiction, alcohol addiction,
Mm-hmm.
look what that does to your body. And people are doing that and still functioning, right?
But it only functions until you can't function anymore and it catches up
Exactly.
with you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So they
Whew.
power power through, and until they go, okay, I'm going to stop that. Like I stopped coffee for like 6 years. Only 6 years I made it, but I stopped, and all my energy levels went through the roof.
Yeah, your body resets. It's so resilient, and
Yeah,
you have that energy again.
yeah, it was really that. It wasn't the first cup or two. It was having one at 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock and all day. All of a sudden it reverses. Now you're tired. You need a nap.
Yeah,
So
that's
whenever I
the
see the line at 3 and 4 o'clock at Starbucks, the drive through, I go, because they're worn out. They drank too much coffee. They're getting another one. Sugar does the same thing, right? You have some sugar, guess what you want?
energy drinks. I used to be addicted.
Yep. Right. I always tell people, how many people have eaten an apple and crave another apple? They don't. Okay. But have a Twinkie. Okay. Have some
I eat the whole
chocolate.
box.
Okay. Give me another one. I'm looking for the next sugar hit, so it's fascinating. I mean, I know this is just
Yeah.
goofy stuff, but when you're looking to perform in business, in whatever you're doing, if it's a sport, if it's business, if it's your job, maybe you're at a high level management position, or you're a lower level and want to get there, and you need the energy, you need to do that stuff. Go back to basics, which is sleep, hydration, nutrition, and exercise.
Yes.
Vitamin D, get out in the sun, do this kind of stuff. So I think there's times like right now when we need to talk about this stuff. And here's the great thing about sleep. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free.
You actually get your time back when you
Exactly.
sleep earlier.
Exactly. Because you're going to be more productive, more alert. Right? You're going
Yeah.
to be able to give more of yourself to those you love.
Yeah.
Right. Because I'm tired. I got to be on the couch and I'm going to turn the TV on and watch that for an hour. So I pass out in the first 5 minutes. Okay.
Over a bowl of potato chips and ice cream.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You're giving out all your secrets, Justin.
Let me hide this. Hold on.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? So it's one of those great reminders where it's like, okay, we always talk about being intentional in our business and we do this and we want to make sure we're doing that and take care of the people, but we seldom turn it back on ourselves and really examine what are my intentionalities in my everyday. What does my routine really look like? Document it. Like I said, I can tell you every step.
That shit.
Yeah, I can track you. I can track every step every morning. Okay.
People track all their business analytics, but they don't track the personal analytics.
That's right. That's right. Really, really important. Like I am within less than 10 minutes of getting up after the basics. Okay. It's 32 ounces of water. I slam 32 ounces. It starts there. I have a thing called seven. I go 70 by 7. That's my little tagline I created. That's 70 ounces of water by 7 a.m. So I do the 32 when I get up. I do another 40 while I'm working out, 20 during the workout, 20 right after. Okay. Now I've also had about 20 plus ounces of the functional mushroom coffee in between, right after the 32, and I do that. So I've got that. That's only 96% hydration, but it's still additional hydration. And then I continue on the rest of the day. I get about 50 to 60 more ounces the rest of the day, right? So I am well hydrated. I'll give you a great example. I'm giving blood, right? I had Red Cross thing, whatever, giving blood. There's a guy on the table next to me, and he's like, man, it's been like 20 minutes. He's giving blood for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. He's giving blood. I mean, you're talking about a little pint, right? Like it's nothing. I sit down, grab the little ball, squeeze it a couple times. It was, I don't know, 4 minutes. They're like, okay, you're done. I went, I'm done? He goes, yeah. And the guy was like, yeah, you're really well hydrated. I'm like, that poor guy.
A lot of people are dehydrated.
That's how I looked over and go, dude, when was the last time you had a glass of water? Yeah, I don't know, man. Coffee. I drink I drink soda and stuff. I go, that's why you're on the table for 20 plus minutes. And I say, here's another cool thing I learned since we're on the health topic, I guess. We're talking health today.
It's important.
When you give blood, did you know this? Now I'm talking to the lady who's taking my blood at the Red Cross who does this all the time. Now, I liked her, cool lady, because I go, did you know? And she just looked at me and goes, this better be good. She's like, don't tell me some nonsense. You can tell she's heard a lot of stuff, right? And I go, well, did you know giving blood? I said, you know how women are not susceptible to heart attacks as men are young, and then all of a sudden they catch up when they're older? Women can have as many heart attacks as men. I go, do you know when that begins? She's like, no. I go, menopause. When they stop bleeding. Okay, that's when they instantly catch up to men, because giving blood, transferring your blood is what prevents that. It creates new blood. It's like getting an oil change. So you want to do it 3, 4 times a year. Get your blood, give blood. It's a good thing to do. Everyone needs more
Write this
blood,
down.
right?
Get blood.
So get 3 to 4 blood, well, whatever you want. Not, they're not, it's not a transfusion. You want to donate blood 3 to 4 times a year. Okay. 88% reduction in heart attack.
Damn.
88%. So I look at her and she's like, wow, I go, look it up. I said, now that's what you need to promote. Okay. It's a win-win. I come in, yeah, I'm giving blood for someone who
Our
needs
health
blood.
system promotes such treachery.
I know. I know you can't because there'll be some weird liability, like you told people to do. They're going to have a heart attack and they're going to blame you because you came 3 times a year and they still had a heart attack. I get it because the world is full of idiots and that's what it is. But if you're smart, go give blood once a quarter, every 3 months.
I'm gonna look this up. I'm gonna fact check you with chat.
Fact check me. Go deep. Do deep research. Go deep, buddy. Roast it. Remember we talked about roasting, like roasting.
Right.
But you've got to understand there's these simple things you can do that are good for you, for others. There's a lot of cool stuff, but something as simple as that, whatever your age, begin now. Just start now in doing that. But just think about it on the outside, like it makes sense, right? My body creates blood, so I remove a pint, it has to create a pint. It's an oil change, right? It's an oil change, like almost literally. It's pretty amazing because your vascular system is the largest organ in the body. I used to think it was the skin, but it's actually your vascular system. But people don't think of that as an organ, So like, you got to keep that thing's flowing, right? We got to keep it flowing. So enough of that talk. Yes, that's awesome. Yeah, I got health tips galore. Where's this?
Well, it's very important. Health is so important. I always tell people that personal and business are one cohesive unit.
Mm-hmm.
We split those somehow and went wrong. And so having all these issues. Those have to come back together. You have to take care of your health. Whatever that looks like for you is so important.
Well, it's staying healthy for both sides of the fence here. Okay. You want to run a great business. You also want to be a great father or a great mother or whatever that case is,
Great human being.
It takes energy. You can't do, I have 6 kids. I raised 6 kids. It takes energy. My wife had more than me. Okay. She had more than me, but I was there, like doing all the stuff, but we have to realize that there's simple ways to increase our energy. Right. And here's another little secret. The more energy you expend, the more you create. So don't think you're going to get tired. Okay. I have extremely difficult workouts every morning. Like I push myself to levels. Okay. That terrify people. Okay.
There will be blood.
But they just, no one talks to me. Okay. So, but the point is like, I just feel better. I come back like, I drained the tank today. And then an hour, 2 hours later, I'm like, my day is great. Right. So it's not like I drained the tank at 5:30 to 6:30 a.m. and I'm dead till tomorrow. I'm like by 8 o'clock, I've refueled, right? I've eaten, I've gone through the rest of my routine. I've done it. And I'm 100% going down the road. It's awesome. So I just want to tell that to people because they get mixed up with like what results into what.
Yeah.
The more energy you expend, the more you will create. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they gotta start and create the habit of doing it over time.
Yep.
Don't start so big that you're gonna fail, but start somewhere. And just as you do that, your capacity grows over time.
Yeah.
Like my capacity's grown so big, I'm running a business, a podcast, and I work for a company, It's just the capacity. I have the capacity to do it. So I've been building this to do it.
Yeah, it's not taking on the world tomorrow.
I tried that. It didn't work.
Yeah, you have to start. I talk to a lot of men. I do these, different shows and everything else too, and ministries. And I just tell them, well, your first priority is your family. Is that dialed in? You're trying to take on all this stuff out here. Meanwhile, your family is what? Ignored. You're out doing big things. What about your family? Yeah, exactly. Okay. So I get all different stories on that from back in 08, 09. but you learn that like you start with those right around you. That's your priority. Right. And even if you want to tie your fitness and health into it, that's them. Right. I was on a podcast.
In it.
Yeah, I was on a podcast yesterday. It was on masculinity podcast talking about masculinity. And it was actually a woman was the host yesterday. So I'm like, oh, okay, this could go interesting. So, but it was really great. And one thing I mentioned, because she asked about, well, fitness. We were talking about fitness. I said, well, I train for two. And she's like, well, what do you mean? I go, well, if something happens at, say, at home, can I carry my wife down 2, 3 flights of stairs? Can I take them up 2 flights? Can I run a quarter mile, half mile with her on my back if I have to? What can I do? How do I do it with 6 kids? How do I protect them? Do I train for that, or am I training just for myself? I said, you have to train. Yet that's the mindset. And as a protector, that's what I do. Right. So that's part of who we are as men. I said, so if you don't have that capability, yeah, you're trying to save your kids. You have a grabber and die. Way to go, Dad.
Yeah,
Because you're
dad in the
unfit. You're
gym
not
lifting
healthy.
10-pound weights. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
working out.
Well,
I'm getting it.
okay. Yeah. I'm glad you're here, but we need to up the pace. Okay. Like
That's so
I'm
true.
glad people are here and they're walking. I'm glad they're doing something, but it goes back to intentionality. Well, are you walking more? Are you walking faster? Are you doing some backwards walking? What are you doing in your
Oh,
walking regimen?
backwards walking? Wait, what?
No, you're walking in circles at the same pace, listening to your speakerphone, walking like this, looking at your phone. I go, remember Eric Heiden, the great ice skate sprinter, the legs the size of your body. Remember him way
Oh,
back
they
in the
like
day?
that.
Maybe Eric Heiden. Okay, so he wrote this book. It's on training and all this stuff, and he had a great quote, Justin. He's like, "No, I don't do the music. I don't do anything. You know what I listen to?" He goes, "My heart rate. I listen to my breathing. I listen to the feedback from my body. I mean, you're talking multiple gold medals. Like he was the ultimate, ice skating champion, right? Sprints and all that stuff. I mean, literally his thighs were like the size of your body. I mean, he was a monster, look him up. You'll do your research. Uh, but that mindset, like I grabbed onto that. And this was the 80s when he was doing this stuff, I guess. I think so. Yeah, I think it was the 80s. And I'm like, that's what I like. Like I'm hitting a bag, people hear me breathing. I'm blowing pop, pop, pop every time I'm hitting. I've got this consistent beat. I got a rhythm. I got a pattern, when I'm working out. And I'm like, that's what I'm listening to. I'm putting my shots on target, man. I'm let the bag swing because it's an opponent, right? I'm working. So I had a guy the other day come up and hold the bag for me because I think he thought he was helping me. Okay. I don't like the bag being held. Yeah. So, yeah. So so I'll just pretend I'm crushing you.
Let me help
Hold
you,
the bag.
bro. Get some.
Yeah. So, and it's all good. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? But it's like, no, I want the bag to swing. It's a 100-pound bag. I want it to swing because no one's going to stand there and take a beating. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'm
you know,
going
it's funny. Most people don't move out of the way. They stay in a straight line too. They
exactly.
understand you have to keep moving.
Yep, you got to pivot. You got to go left or right. You never back up. And these are fun conversations. Okay, picture. You ever see the cartoon where they chop down the tree and the tree's falling at the guy and he keeps running in the same direction the tree is falling? And
Yeah.
all he has to do is step to the left,
Yep.
and the tree will fall down next to him. But they run
Ooh.
out, then gets hit. Right? I go, that's boxing. Okay, you don't do that. Okay, I'm a big tree, and I will crush you. Okay, you back up. It's good night, Irene. Okay.
Yeah, that's why they call it dancing in the ring.
That's right. That's right.
Literally, you're
It's
moving and you're
science.
dancing.
That's right. And I will cut that ring off, and next thing you know, you'll be in the corner for the beatdown.
What happened?
I will chop you down like a tree. It'll be fun. So I'm getting a little out of control here, Justin.
Oh, I Richard. Okay, you know what? This is a little crazy right now.
Mellow out.
You
Just mellow
changed,
out.
man. Who are you?
You're violent. You're such a violent individual. But I'm a dangerous gentleman. That's what I am. I'm a dangerous gentleman. That's
I
what
have
I
a
am.
lot of aggression, but I try and keep it calm.
You're
About
good.
1% of the time.
You are. You got the incense going and all that good stuff. So
Yeah,
so
man.
Justin, tell us a little bit more about what you do specifically, how people can get in touch with you, the
Yeah.
whole thing. How are you helping people out there? Let's get into that a little bit, to close this out.
Yeah. So I work in IT and cybersecurity, and we help healthcare clinics and healthcare providers. So pretty much what we are, we're a strategic business partner. We find out what pain points they're having and how we can help their business processes move along. Kind of see what bottlenecks they have. And we kind of start with the IT and the infrastructure, and we work our way, we create a roadmap to get them compliant and up to cyber HIPAA compliance regulations. and that can look different for everyone. But we like to sit down, have a human conversations, see where they're trying to go with their business, what they're trying to achieve, and see how we can work that into them and work with them. We're not trying to work with everyone, but I'm trying to work with people who want to be strategic, who want to grow as human beings and grow their business in the process. Usually, when you work with cybersecurity, you don't get people. You just get people that want to do the technology, and that's it. I want to help your business and yourself grow as a human being.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. That's great. Yeah, it's not a cybersecurity, so it's not a glamorous thing.
No,
It's a very
it's ugly.
it,
It's tough.
it
It's
it's
frustrating.
yeah, and it's a very behind the scenes thing, but it's incredibly important
It
uh
is.
today more than ever, right? Every day.
A
And
lot
it's
of providers
never
don't know they need it. They don't.
yeah, if you're in the healthcare industry,
You need it.
you need it. I mean, you're talking
Yeah,
about
there's a lot of
oof,
weird, like, oh no, we're okay, we're good.
yeah, those lawsuits will bankrupt you in a heartbeat, you know.
Last thing you want to do is get a call or an email from some breach. Yeah, your information has been leaked because this provider failed to do their due diligence. But
Mhm.
we're gonna give you a free year subscription to Experion. Here you go, buddy. Have a great day. What the?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's that's awesome though. That really is, man. This has been a fantastic conversation in all the directions that
Yeah,
it went. And we're a little wired up because that's who we are.
right. Pretty cool.
Because
I
we
love
get our rest, we get our hydration, we eat properly, and we just bring it to the show. And it's been good.
or you
So
end up looking like this a little bit. You're like,
that's right.
oh,
That'll be
yeah,
5 hours from now when
yeah.
we're still working. Yeah, doing it all. But awesome, Justin. Thank you. How can people get in touch with you? Follow you? You got emails, you got websites. What do you got?
Yes. So you can follow our podcast at multiversetechnologypodcast.net. And you can reach out to me at justiniteewalker.net. And that takes you to our LinkedIn, Facebook. Send me an email. Let's have a conversation. Let's chat like human beings. See where it takes us.
I love it. I love it. Justin, this has been fun. I knew it would be. And I appreciate you taking the time to be with us and share
Hell
your
yeah, brother.
knowledge. This has been fantastic. And for everybody else, we'll see you on the next STS podcast. Thanks for joining me on the Sharpen the Spear podcast. If you're a manufacturing executive and you're serious about unlocking hidden profit, improving frontline leadership, and taking control of your floor, go to grit2lead.com right now. Run the free Sharpened Impact Simulator and discover your biggest opportunities are hiding. Don't leave millions on the table. Sharpen your spear, lead from the front, and win the floor. Until next time, stay sharp.